Okay. And Cassie, Brandon did it on his end. You're welcome to do it on yours. We're going to try and go live on both of ours.
How do I do that? Are you talking about live on what?
On
like
your
Instagram
page.
Oh, can I do that at the same time doing this?
Yeah, you should be able to. I'm about to try it just to see if it'll work.
So if
I am live now.
So if I pull this up, you can still see me and all that and go live on there? Like my cameras will do both?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Just give us a minute. We're figuring out the tech stuff.
I'm going to click this button really quick. So if I disappear, I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Michael.
I've never even went live on Instagram. Let's see.
You haven't?
Girl,
time.
Girl.
So it says live. 3, 2, 1. Checking connection.
Your screen is black, though.
You are now live. Okay.
That's good.
So
hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. There you are.
I wonder how it looks on Instagram, though.
You're black still.
Oh,
no, there you are. You just popped up. I think my screen is delayed. I'm watching.
How did you do that, Cassie?
I literally just went like I was going to add a post, and at the bottom it says live, and I just clicked it.
Okay, awesome. All right, we're live.
Okay, you'll need to click go live on it after you go live on StreamYard. If you.
Because it says yeah, it won't let me do both. Okay, y'all that are watching.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay,
you're fine. You don't have to.
Okay.
It is not mandatory at all. We were just playing around with it.
I have an idea. Hold on, I got you.
Oh God, it's just me.
No, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
I know. Hold on. I've got this.
I think I'm on there commenting like, hey.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. We're going to get started in like 2 minutes. We're just figuring out the live. And you guys, I can only see my comments. So if you have people asking questions and you want to answer them or like read them out, just go right ahead.
I need to figure out how to copy the live key.
Okay. So are you on
link.
your phone? Okay.
Copy link.
Oh, you need the key, not the link.
Oh, okay. Where's the key?
It should be right below that.
Oh, no.
Did it not work?
Wait, where's the key?
It should be right below the link, the go live link. If anybody knows how to do this,
sorry everyone for watching right now. I'm trying to connect our podcast interview, so give me 2 seconds, you guys. Copy link, add monitor, turn off request to go live, turn off share.
Sure. It wasn't I can add you as a team member, but I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Right. Oh my gosh, this is so.
You know what? Do you want to just give me your streaming key and I will see if I can put it in here?
I mean, yeah, if that's going to work. I'm wondering, just because there's no like area to put in a key. Hi, you guys. Sorry, everybody that's joining right now. I love you. I hope you can hear me.
Ask them if anybody knows how to use StreamYard.
Right. Go to the Love Pod
podcast.
The Love Pod podcast. Okay. I'm just telling people in the chat. If you can hear me, go to the Love Pod podcast. Oh, audio is working. Oh, okay. Hey, bitches. Go to the Love Pod podcast if you want to hear us talk about season 7. Okay, I'm gonna get off here because this is not working and we're incompetent. I love you guys. Bye. Go over there. Love Pod podcast. They're live right now.
We are live. We're right here.
I'm not even going to attempt because I know I'll screw it up.
No, it's okay. I wish it was something I could do from my end. But this is recording anyway, so I can also send you guys the edited episode and I'll cut all this out and we'll be good to
Oh
go.
my gosh. Okay.
All right.
Am I there?
Guys, you're here. Everyone's here. We're live at least one spot. So welcome to the live stream, everybody. Welcome to the Love Pod, Brandon and Cassie. We are so excited to have you here. Thank you. Now,
Hello.
I figure we'll do a couple of fan questions and then we'll talk a little bit about the first 4 episodes, but we're not going to do a whole run through because we're not. We're just not.
That's totally fair.
I have some notes. We'll talk about some stuff. But so let's start with the first question. And this one's for Cassie from an anonymous source. Cassie, do you know geography?
No, I think that's a given. Like, I have no sense of direction whatsoever. Like, I'm just here wherever I'm at. I'm just there. I don't know how I got there or any of those like minor details. You can forget it. So, short answer, absolutely not. I do not.
Cassie couldn't even give Liam Neeson enough information to save her in any situation.
You know what? That's fair. I joke. My best friend told me the first day we met, I was going to pick her up on campus at school. And I was like, what are you buying? She's like, a brick building and a dirt parking lot. Great.
Yeah,
I'll be right there.
That is me.
Helpful.
All right,
I wonder
guys.
why they wanted to know that.
I think it was somebody who knows you just teasing you.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It might be somebody from your cast, possibly.
Untelling.
Okay, the next question is, obviously all the apartments are different and they seem kind of catered to your personality. So does the apartment decor affect your mood?
100% for me, because when I walked in mine, I felt like I was in my own world. But then when I walked into Brandon's, they cut it, and I cannot believe they didn't show it. I literally looked at him and I said, "This room is so ugly. It is so dark."
That's so nice.
It's so funny because I don't know if it affected my mood necessarily, but it was always like, where the room is so dark, you're just trying your best to like throw out as much energy as you can. I mean, poor Savannah. She got the same room that I had. I'm almost positive it looks exactly the same. And I was just like, oh, poor Savannah, because she's so like bubbly and boom, like, poor girl.
I did notice. On camera, like while you're watching Netflix, it looks really bright, but in person, it is a dungeon. It is.
It was dark.
Do you guys have windows or like a glass door or anything?
Just that balcony that you can see, but you can't get out. And it's
you can't leave. They're like, we don't trust you outside.
No.
Okay, well,
we would get taken.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be able to see each other, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you genuinely bond that fast without meeting? It seems like you develop really close connections very fast just through chats.
I'm going to take the lead on this one. I think yes and no. So there is a kind of group mentality where it's like, we're all in this situation together. It's really awesome. So like, it's like you already feel very family oriented. Sure. I think the part that like always throws me is like the romantic relationships that form so fast. And in this season alone, already, season 7, I'm like, they're all getting married by the time this season is over.
I know. By the end of the first conversation.
I know. And poor Savannah, like, I know I'm brought her up. This is the second time. But poor Savannah, because Savannah was like, this is my stepdad already on day 1. And I'm just like, girl, take a breath. There's no baby daddies on one day. Like, it's just so I think some of it is yes, and a lot of it is strategy.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, because he jumped her real quick. He was
We'll get to that in a minute because I have so
yeah.
much to say.
All right, Cassie, what are your thoughts on bonding via text?
I think it depends. I'm more of like a in person. Like for instance, obviously me and Brandon chatted and on our season and other people, but it was like as soon as I walked in his room, I was like, ah. So for me, I think it's bullcrap. I think it's just trying to get through the game. It is what
Okay.
it is, and I've got like and Brandon knows, a very big like bullcrap meter. And
Yeah,
for me, when I'm reading a text, I'm like bullcrap. Like there's no bullcrap.
you
You know
call
what
it
I mean?
quick.
So
Yeah.
I'm opposite. I'm more of like an in person.
Yeah, I
Which
think.
I think, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like Cassie said, I think there's a difference between like when you actually connect and when you're just like making it part of the game. You definitely grow bonds with everyone that's on your season because you have that group, like you have to. I mean, you are from the same season. If you're not together, then you're against each other and it's stupid. So I think there is a strong bond, but at the same time, when it comes to the conversations and people saying, like, I've got your back, I've got your back, I've got your back, you don't have everyone's back. You can't have
Yes.
everyone's back.
This is the first season, I think, though, those loyalties really went out the window like that. You guys are, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Let's do the fan questions first. Okay, this next one is from Slow Mo 999. Big fan of you guys. When did y'all start coming in the game with an idea for strategy, or did you just go with the flow? So were you strategy minded, or were you just kind of hanging?
Ca-
Well,
Cassie.
Cassie,
if you're
tell us your
familiar with our
strategy.
if you're familiar with our season, you will know real quick that I did not have one, and the one that I did was terrible. So I think I'm exempt from that question and any
Okay.
other strategic show
If you
on
watch,
TV.
you know, and that's fair. It's just go hang out. It seems like a nice little vacation too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go
I
with the flow.
mean,
I'm very much go with the flow.
right. I had a strategy, but like I I don't know. You go in, you think of have like I have this strategy, right? This is what I'm going to do. You even tell the producers, this is what I'm going to do. This is my plan. But as soon as the game starts, all of that goes out the window.
Yeah.
Everything you thought you were going to do doesn't, you're not going to get the chance to do it necessarily. So out the window. And then I think once on my season, on our season, once Cassie and Steffi started just getting like, there goes my alliance, there goes my alliance. I was like, I don't have a strategy now because all of my alliances are gone.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, okay, instead of who can I bond with, it was like, who can I bond with, but also how can I break these other alliances? So it was
Yes.
kind of like that. It was strategy, but also just like, okay, well, I got to do something or I'm screwed.
Yeah. You kind of have to, you don't know what the other players are doing. So I'd imagine you kind of have to come up with it on the fly.
Yeah, so
Okay.
much.
Now, along those lines, if you don't know what you're going to be able to do you guys get a heads up to know when you move around? I already know this, but it is a common question when you can go to the gym, when you can go to the hot tub, when you have to go to the influencer room. Do you know that that's going to happen, or can you put in requests for that?
Um,
You
We'll start with Brandon this time since.
Oh no, I was going to say, Cassie, you can go.
Oh,
You have to put in a request. Otherwise, it's a free for all, and you could run into another player. So you have to put in a request. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it when you want it, but they're usually like, we'll give it to you at some point
yeah.
today.
okay. All right. What about you, Cassie? Did you try to venture out on
No,
your
they got you on lockdown. I'm a smoker, and I was trying to get into that like go out on the balcony to smoke, and it was like all like bolted in, and I was like, and they were like, no, you have to ask to go out, and I was like, well, I'm asking to go out, and they may come like right then, or it could be a few hours. They do eventually, like he said, schedule it out, but no, they escort you everywhere on their
Yeah.
time.
on their time. They're like,
And
you're not getting out of here. We gotta have lunch.
unless you're having a full-blown breakdown, I will say they did really well with that because I had my beautiful moments of breakdown assery. So they they will show up then because then it's like, okay, we're scared for him. Because I remember breaking down and I took off my mic on one of them and I was like, take me outside, I'm done. I think it was like right after I had the conversation about my dad because I was
Okay,
just
yeah.
and I was like, I need fresh air or I'm out. I will walk out this door. And in that case, they immediately like show up, which so I think it just depends. Is it an emergency or is it not? But in Cassie's situation, she's like, if I don't get a cigarette, I'm gonna jump off this balcony. So that's an
Literally.
emergency.
That is an emergency too. I would imagine, do you know? I don't know if you would know this, but has anybody tried to quit and just go home?
I
Ooh,
don't know that.
yeah, I don't know.
It
I don't
doesn't seem
see.
like that kind of a show. I know other
Yeah,
shows, yes, but
I think if we were all in person and we had the opportunity to actually fight, like actually argue and like scream at each other, there's a different scenario where yes, people might be like, I can't handle this. But
yeah.
I mean, I thrive in that shit. So I'd love to have a screaming match. I'd love,
Definitely eat that up.
yeah, let's
That's season 10.
right. Me and Cassie, we're not quiet people. Trust me. We're
Oh, I get that vibe from you guys. I mean, that's you can't be though to go on the circle. If you're quiet on the circle, you're just, I would imagine not, you're out quick or you're not
yeah,
even cast.
yes.
Okay. Our next question, we'll start with you, Cassie, this time. How much do they limit the conversations you can have and the timing of them?
Well, they control all of that. It ain't like you can say circle message whoever and it just pops up. Like they schedule that. And the conversations are kind of like what you see on TV, like they're just short. But in person, it takes hours because they're typing up my response and then you're waiting for the other person's response. And then they've got to type it and put it through. So it's a really long process. And I think that is why the conversations are 2 or 3 minutes, like a couple of
Sure.
responses back and forth. That's just my opinion, but no,
Yeah.
they are limited for sure.
I
Do you
think,
agree?
yeah, I think it's because so you're allowed to like say who you want to speak with. Like they usually ask you first thing in the morning, like, who do you want to talk to today? And you
Right.
give them names. I think what makes the situation so hard when it comes to conversations is that if everyone was able to talk to everyone all at once, it would be complete chaos and they wouldn't be able to get an actual storyline.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it, but also it can be
I
extremely
know.
frustrating when you're playing the game because you feel like you're not getting the opportunity to set yourself up for success. But then you have to tell yourself, okay, but it's the same for everyone. So it's a fun ass game to play, but it is
It's hard.
difficult.
Yeah, it's not like sitting on the couch watching it on TV. It's
Right.
totally different.
Yeah. And it seems like you don't always have a lot to go off of to make your decisions, to decide who to block, how to rank people.
You have to be so concise with what you want to do. So it becomes less of, I just want to talk to this person and more like, okay, who do I want to talk to and what can I get from them in that time? So
Yeah.
when it came to certain conversations, I know a lot of Cassie and I's conversations were just like, hey girl, miss you, love you. But that's because we had a genuine connection. But then when it
Of
was like
course.
talking to QT or something, I was like, okay, I like QT. I don't know if she's lying to me. but what information can I get from her while I have her? Because I might not get her again because everyone wants to talk to her.
That makes
So,
sense. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's get into the episodes. Now, this
Yes.
is a big spoiler alert for the first 4 episodes. If you haven't seen them so far, this is a recap. So, what are you doing here?
Yeah. If you haven't seen them yet, go watch them. I
Go
mean,
watch. Yeah.
watch this too, but watch the
Yeah.
show.
Don't watch right now. Don't watch right this second. Okay. So this is something that I saw in one of the fan groups, and I think there might be some truth to it. They are not promoting the seasons like they used to on the Circle Instagrams, on Netflix. Do you think this is going to be the last season of the show?
I personally do, yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling. I have a feeling it is going to be the last season, which I hate because it's like it's one of Netflix's only other shows that's not a dating show. And
Yes.
I'm tired. You know what I mean? I'm tired. I don't want to watch hot people having sex on a beach anymore. I
You
want to
don't?
watch, no, I want to watch real people tearing each other apart in a house, like the Anonymous or the Traders. I don't need a bunch of hot people on my screen. I want ugly ass bitches trying to kill each other.
I agree. And I feel like a lot of Netflix's shows are dating shows. And
Mhm.
spoiler alert, if you haven't watched season 7, I feel like it's kind of like gravitating towards
Oh
that
God,
too.
yeah.
And it's so annoying. And for me, you know, I wanted to go in single because you do have that advantage of being able to
Mhm.
flirt and all that. But they told me no. They was like, no, you've got to go in as engaged. And now I'm pissed off because Nate gave me the permission to flirt and do
Excuse me.
whatever. And then you've got everybody on here single and they're already coupled up, booed up, have their alliances with their significant others. And it makes me so mad.
I it's the I it's like a double-edged sword because you're like, I want to see how this plays out as far as all their like love triangles or whatever.
Yes.
But at the same time, you're just like, okay, is this the all single season again? Like it's everything has a dating theme nowadays.
Yeah.
I want like no more dating themes. Okay. I
No.
realize
Enough.
yeah, like enough. Like I flirted with Kyle. Yes, right? Okay, people are like, but you did this. I was also talking about my titties in a hot tub. Like I was not trying to actually get with Pookie Kyle. You know what I mean? Like my Pookie, I was not trying to get with him in real life. It was
You know,
strategy.
yeah, and you never know who's on the other side of the screen. It could be Deb that you're flirting with. We just
Right.
don't know.
I would flirt with Deb all day.
Cassie, I have a suggestion. If you ever go on like an all-star season, just say you're poly. Just say that you're in an open relationship and then you
Yeah, be
flirt.
like, you know what? Come on, baby, let's go.
You guys have decided to explore. Kentucky's getting very liberal.
I'm Cassie, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see you flirt with women. I just want to see it happen because the fail that we
It
would
would be
witness.
terrible. They'd be like, there's no way. This girl is really straight. Like, straight to the
I will set up a one-day game of the circle and you guys can play whoever you want and you won't
I'm
know
in.
which one is you and which one is not.
That'd
I'm
be so fun.
so in.
Okay, let's talk about the new cast a little bit. So, do you guys have any standouts that immediately you either think will win or you're rooting for? Cassie, we'll start with you.
I personally love Deb. I don't know if you watch Big Brother, but she reminds me of like a more tamed Angela. And I
Yes.
love Angela right now on Big Brother. She stood out for me as soon as it done her intro. I love her energy. I love how she's spunky and doesn't give a crap what she says. She's hands down my personal favorite. But I like all things funny. I think I said that on your podcast when you had me.
Mhm.
I think she's hilarious. If you
Yes.
give me a giggle, I will love you forever. And she had me so tickled on like the first 30 seconds.
What about you, Brandon?
I agree with Cassie. I'm also a huge Deb like stan. I really love Heather And I'm
Yes.
excited to see Garrett.
Yeah.
I know he came in a little bit later, but like I'm so excited to see where he goes. And I love his like light is so bright.
It is.
But
Yeah.
Heather just seems so different to me, and I think that's why I immediately was like, okay, I'm into this rocker chick with a heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there are a lot of younger players this season. You know, like Deb is kind of the standout that's not like your 20s.
Yeah.
Whereas previous seasons, it seems like a bit more of a mix, or there was like one, and we don't know who else is joining at this point.
Right.
But it's hard to stand out when you all kind of have that, like, I like to party vibe, and, you know, I'm just here for the game. And I think, yes, I agree. Heather, Andy, and then Deb. Oh God, I forgot to write down Rachel. Deb and Rachel. Are the standouts for me too. And then, oh God, listen, I'm from New York, so I want to say we don't claim Staten Island, but JoJo and Nikki they're memorable. And they turned that around real quick.
Here's the thing. I think this cast is great because all the personalities are so different as far as they all want to party, but the real them is starting to slowly come out, which is more like, more like docile, which I kind of like because I'm like, don't put up in front just because you feel like you have to. When it comes to the twins, I want to see more. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's amazing that they have this like boom, boom, boom. It's just like hit after hit. They're like trying to be witty. For me, it's like, I want to see you vulnerable. I want to see you human. Because right now you don't feel human to me. Right now you feel character to me.
Yeah.
And I want to see you be more than that. I want to see you as a person. And then I can say, okay, I can connect with this. But I can't connect with you if you're not giving me any real essence of you.
And do you guys notice from when you're playing the game to now watching it on screen that there's just a lot of context missing? Because it is hard to connect in such a short period of time when you guys are on 24/7, but we see 4 hours of a a month-long show.
Well, in this case, I think it's hard to really do because this season didn't take the opportunity to really say like, okay, here's the characters, here's who you're getting to know. It was straight up strategy from the moment they opened the doors. So I don't think we were given an opportunity to really get to know the characters like our season. That's why people said the beginning of our season was slow. And it was like, it wasn't slow. It was them giving you the opportunity to know us. So
and it does make a difference.
Yeah.
Cassie, did you notice a difference in watching versus playing?
Well, for me, it kind of spoils it because I know like how it truly happened that day. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, the whole good morning circle is fake as crap because you've already been up for 2 hours. You know what I mean? So it's kind of ruined that aspect of it for me. If that, you know.
Yeah, and that's a big complaint fans have too. It's like, why are we seeing people are catching on that the reactions to the alerts? We're 7 seasons in. You can't be surprised if there's an alert coming out, and it's TV, so we get it. But that was a big complaint, is the overstaged reactions, and that's not your choice.
Well, here's the thing: if you don't go alert, they're like, you need to redo that, and I'm like. It's exhausting, and it was to the point where I was like, I know y'all got a recording of me screaming that, just throw that in because I'm exhausted. I can't do it anymore.
I think like, so it was like both for me. There were some where I was literally already looking at the TV and I was like, oh, alert. And then there were some where I legitimately was like using the bathroom, like walking out, minding my own business. And then I would see it on the TV and I'd be like, oh shit, alert, alert, because I was like not involved with the show at all in that moment. I was like, I'm just Brandon. I'm just walking around. I just took the best piss of my life. And then yeah, so it's like a mixed bag. Some are real, some are like, okay, I'm really busting it out.
Yeah, I think I would hope that people know that it's obviously a produced show and this is not you guys just acting dumb. Oh my God, what? This is the last episode of the season and we're still excited about the alerts or we're still saying good morning.
We're not the first to do it. We won't be the last.
Well, maybe you guys weren't the last, but this might be the last one.
Yeah, God, that's sad. It really is. It sucks.
It is, but that just means opportunity for you guys to move on to like the challenge or some other crossover. Big Brother. I know Big Brother's a long season, but
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Me too. Sign me up.
I can't believe they haven't called you guys yet. And play as a duo, please. That's hard in Big Brother, but
oh my God, you put me and Cassie together, it is going to be chaos.
Now, we talked a little bit about the love connections that are going on. And I noticed that Rachel, Deb, is trying to set up her sons quite often, just based on saying hello to somebody. So what are your opinions? Are any of these love connections genuine? Is this all gameplay? Brandon?
Okay, so the whole Deb trying to set up her son's thing, I think is hilarious because I think that's typical, like, I think that's typical, like, Staten Island, like, behavior, right? Like, I think that's just, like, that's what it is. So I get that.
And it's a mom thing. It's a mom
thing.
It is a mom thing, yeah.
I think some of the others, I'm just confused because there's a difference between saying like, oh, this person is hot and oh, like, oh my God, I want to be with them like right now. I'm like, girl, take a breath. Take a breath. It's day 2. We know the timeline. It's day 2. Let's calm it down just a second. Okay. Like, you don't even know this person. This person could be a 90-year-old man, all Viagra'd up. You don't know.
Hopefully they check suitcases for that because I would have a lot of questions. Yeah. Cassie, what do you think?
I don't want them to get mad at me when I say this, but like I said, my bull crap meter is going because you just can't look at a screen and let's say K Fern's up there and you're like, oh my God, stepdaddy. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Because guess what? He sent you out the door. Like, you can't rely on that. And I don't feel like you should just go straight gun hold into it. And first off, you don't even know who they really are. Like, what if they have really bad breath or they eat with like their mouth open? You know what I mean? Like, don't say
girl, that's just called a dating app. That's just called Tinder.
I agree. I laughed my ass off at the stepdaddy line. Like, I thought it was so funny. But then I was kind of like, wait, is she serious though? Like, I kept thinking
she seemed serious.
Yeah.
When they met, she shut him down real quick.
Yeah. Like, prime example, like, maybe he edited that photo and then she's seen him because it's same, like, you know what I mean? You can't just jump into it because you don't know.
You don't. You don't. I think you can build relationships over like the period of how long you're there. But when you're on day 2, girl, you don't love him. He don't love you. You don't love each other.
Stop planning the wedding.
Yeah, you're in lust. You guys just want to get it on. Like, let's be real. Like,
you want to win $100,000 is what you want to do.
Booyah.
Yeah, whatever you got to do, I guess. You got to fake a relationship. If they really want to commit, they'd be asking for copies of Brides magazine and a list of venues. I want to see them going all balls to the wall. And if not,
they give it to you. They give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, a circle, having the wedding in the apartments. I could see that being.
Ah, oh my God, that'd be so embarrassing.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the games because you mentioned this before, Brandon. They do seem very like dating, spicy themed this season,
Yeah.
way more than prior seasons. It seems like you guys are picking up on that too. Do you feel like this is like there's a matchmaker on the casting team this season, or what is going on? It's very different.
I think obviously they're trying to keep the spice. Like people do enjoy that like spicy talk. My thing is it's played out. We've done it. We had a single season. These people's personalities are better than that. I think that's where I get frustrated is like I've talked to a lot of them online and their personalities just they're
You're not
too
coming up.
big. They're too big to be on a date, like in this dating scenario.
Yeah.
Like they could be doing so much more. And I'm assuming I think that's what's gonna happen. I honestly think in these first four episodes, it was just everyone trying so hard to like, okay, get an alliance, get an alliance, get an alliance. But I definitely think it's gonna change. I'm excited to see what happens because I
Mhm.
hope it goes in a different direction.
Yeah,
I
I do
just
too.
yeah, the coupling thing for me, I'm like, it's too early. Um, y'all even haven't even had time to really dislike each other yet, except for one thing, but I guess we're going to talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dating thing, I don't know. I love this cast. I just think like this was not the right route so far.
I agree. It's a hard watch for me. I even texted you guys like this one's kind of rough so far because I do feel like it's constantly, and not that I wouldn't watch a season of just a Love is Blind circle crossover where
Right,
they
right,
chat and then get married right out of the apartments, but I don't
right.
watch for that here. Kathy, what are your thoughts on the dating singles? Not see this isn't a season for that, I'll say, but like
Right,
the push
right.
for that
Might
again.
as well be. I'm just hoping that I want something more than I got your back because you're cute, or I got your
Yeah.
back. You're
Yeah.
not my number one because I like your profile picture. Like, there's more to it. So I'm hoping that these
Mm,
next episodes they actually have conversations and maybe they break up. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And not be
Mhm.
so lovey dovey. You're my
Yeah.
number one. So I'm really hoping the next four is they break up, they get new alliances for who they really are.
Oh no.
Oh, Cassie, come back.
Profile picture.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think in the next drop, like the next batch of episodes, I think we're going to see a big shift, which I'm excited for. Let's be honest, the first four episodes of their season, our season, a lot of the seasons, there's not a ton of things exploding off. So
Yeah.
we have to give them that same courtesy, knowing that the first four episodes of our season, people were like, I'm bored out of my mind. And then the first four episodes of this season, people are like, it's too much. So it's too much too fast. So
Right.
I think it'll level out just like ours did. I think
Sure.
ours went soft to like extreme. I think theirs is going to go from extreme to maybe softening up a little bit to where we actually get on a human level with all of them.
Hmm. What do you think, Cassie? Oh no.
No, I
Okay.
agree, and that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping because I want, like I said, I want to get to know them for who they are,
Yeah.
not their character or persona that they're putting on. And I really don't care that you are in a relationship with that person that you just met yesterday. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
And I think it was a good point that there's no deep connecting happening. We're not getting the bonding conversations at this point, at least, that you guys had or that other where you feel like a genuine connection beyond that surface
Yeah.
level. Like, oh, you're so nice. We'll have an alliance because
I
we're
think
in the
the
Yes.
same
only
chat.
thing that we've I think the only thing that we've seen so far is a high school. They have mutual high schools. Who cares?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's
There's
get
some
down to
people
the
from my
gritty.
hometown I would not be in alliance with. I don't. What about disruptor mode? Brandon, what did you think about this twist?
I don't know yet. So part of me is like, okay, this is cool. This is fun. Because I'm not going to lie, I wasn't thrilled about our AI twist. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, our twist was better. I can't say that. I'm wanting to see how it plays out more. I don't think we've gotten enough from it. For me, it just kind of seems too variable. There's too many variables with it. I'm like, okay, it saved the twins. Okay, it kind of makes sense. They're like, we want to show you this could be really great for you to set up someone later for it to be really bad, which makes sense. But I'm also like, who's choosing which power is good and which power is bad?
Right.
So the audience doesn't know. So we don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen, which leads to it not feeling as random.
Oh, I don't think it's random at all, but that's just my opinion. I definitely.
Oh, yeah.
The way things have shaken out with the first blocking and then suddenly you're not blocked. That to me is they did that on a season of Love Island where somebody got dumped from the island and then the secret twist was suddenly they're not dumped from the island and he ended up going all the way to the finale. So, yes, Bergie. We love Bergie around.
Oh my God. I've never watched Love Island. Don't come for me, bitches.
No.
I will attack you.
No, you have to watch this last season. If you watch any season of it, and I know you're sick of dating shows, but this season was just something special. So definitely.
Let me clarify. I'm sick of dating shows, though, not because I don't find them entertaining. I think they're very entertaining. I'm just sick of it because it's like, these aren't normal people. You're going out into the world. You're finding the hottest freaking models you can find. I want to watch two ugly people making out on TV. I want to be like, yes, get it, you ugly bitches. And then I'm like, yes, I love you. I can relate because I'm an ugly bitch out here trying to make out too. So
you're not ugly.
That's what I want. Like, I want to see ugly people getting it on TV. Okay, they deserve a chance.
Listen, the success rate of these matching shows, these dating shows, is already pretty low.
Slim to none. Yeah.
If you throw in a bunch of ugly people, it's not going to make it much easier.
I think it would just be more entertaining because everyone's going to be like, what did Philip say? What did Philip say about Dungeons and Dragons? You know, like, I'm so into that. Who's talking about Pokemon? It would just throw such a wrench in like the norms of reality TV.
Cassie, what about you? What are your thoughts on disruptor mode? And if it's staged?
First off, I'm ticked off because they didn't have it when I was on there when I got blocked. But other than that, I kind of like it because I'm such a Big Brother fan. And like Julie says all the time, expect the unexpected. You never really know. So like we said earlier, is it going to be a good thing or is it going to be a bad thing? You just never know. So I like the twist because right now I'm complaining that it's just so on like a dating show. But let's throw this twist in here. Like right now we know that they're going to, on the sneak peek, they're going to switch profiles. So I think that will be interesting. I think it'll be fun. That way it's not the same thing. Oh, this person's going to get blocked. This person's not going to get blocked because they used it. I personally like it.
Yeah.
I think you have to have something because with 7 seasons of this show now, if you just play it straight, everybody knows what to expect. I think they really threw away the AI opportunity with your season because I think they could have kept that running so much longer. Because,
I think people were so mad at it though because it didn't feel like real AI, and I think that's why people had such a fuss with it. Was like, okay, this is production, like pretending to be an Xbox. Like it's not. I think that's why people were so mad about it. So I don't know. I think the AI would have been amazing if it just would have never been shown in a room. I think if it wouldn't have been shown in the room and they just had like that dark, mysterious character that we see nothing about, we just hear the gameplay. We're like, oh my God, what is this? and then they did a big reveal of it, I think that would have been more shocking.
Okay. Cassie, what would you have like, besides not having the AI completely, what would you like to see out of Max?
Just more. Like I feel like they told us that there's an AI. Okay, great. We'll keep him until we know if we block him or not. I feel like they just got rid of him. Like, oh, well,
Yeah.
there's an AI. Well, now he's gone. We'll
Right.
keep him in and let us brainstorm and try to figure it out. Because what was the point?
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to
Yeah.
announce AI,
Yeah.
and next week he's gone. Okay.
Yeah. It
I
seems
think
like
he would have won.
you do?
Oh my God, there's no way we'd have figured him out. Like they would
No.
have eventually gotten rid of me because they had like a
Yeah.
something going on.
Right.
So they would have gotten rid of me. They would have gotten rid of Lauren. They would have been able to easily get rid of Jordan. Like it wouldn't have, I think it would have played out the wrong way. I mean, there definitely would have been someone else that won. But I don't know. People hated the AI thing. I
Like
didn't
from the
hate
cast
it.
perspective or the fan perspective?
No, I think from the fan perspective, I didn't hate it. I just thought like I didn't really get it too much. And then, but fans were coming out and being like, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Which
Yeah,
I
it
was
came
like,
and went so quick.
I couldn't defend it a ton because I was like, I didn't like it because I was in the game. So it was irritating. But from watching the show, I'm like, okay, I get it. But I agree with Cassie. They could have wrung it out a little bit further. But if they did, hell, maybe I wouldn't have won. So no, suck
Yeah,
it.
you can't
Suck
complain.
it.
You can't complain.
Suck
That.
it.
Now, disruptor mode is legitimately changing the game. We've seen that already in this season, whereas Max, we can speculate, but AI didn't really do anything. So, Cassie, what are your thoughts on how the blockings have worked out for the first two that we've seen so far, at least, and the disruptor mode potentially playing a role in that?
I hate when you ask me something I gotta answer, like when I don't.
What? You want me to ask you closed questions?
Okay, so we're not stupid. Kind of like we talked earlier, the twins have this huge personality. Obviously, they're not going to let a set of twins that we've never seen before go out round one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there may be some little favoritism here and there, or it really could be at random. I don't know, but I'm always like, think of the worst. So I mean, because if you think of the worst, if it doesn't happen, then you're good to go, right? Oh, we've got a visitor. Hi, Jake.
Oh, hi, sweetheart. Do you want to join? Oh no.
She wants to go to her mammal's. When I get there. Okay, go on in there, and when I get done, I'll take you.
Aww.
How many
We're
more
almost
minutes?
done.
We're almost done, baby.
10 minutes max.
10 more minutes. Go on. Go get you a popsicle. Sorry. Anyway, so I mean, I don't want to say like they just pick and choose, but how can they not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can they not?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see that perspective. They were not going to let those twins go. Like, let's be honest. Just because they're going to cause a lot of problems, I can already tell. But I think a good TV, you're not going to get rid of someone that's going to make like
Good
chaotic
TV.
television. So it does make sense. I can see that perspective. It's like a both because I can see the perspective where they're like, we're saving the twins. I can also see the perspective of we got to start off really, really good. So later we can hand someone a bad disruptor power because they tell you in the beginning, you never know if it's going to be good or bad. So they're showing that like, look how good it can be. But then
Dangling the carrot.
later they're going to show this is how bad it could be.
I really think the way it influenced the game so drastically in that Gianna went from being blocked to being an influencer, and then Savannah went from being an influencer to being blocked is I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if they have like guidelines they have to follow where they can't mix up the game too much or manipulate the game. It doesn't seem like it, at least on the circle. There's a lot of controversy with shows like The Challenge where they're changing maybe the results of the eliminations and
Yeah.
things like that. But it seems way more Wild Wild West on the circle.
Yeah.
Were you surprised? Obviously, maybe not with the twins not going home, but with how drastically the ratings shifted within 2 episodes.
I feel like that's normal because Brandon, wasn't you at the close to the bottom and then you become
that's
influencer
true.
the next
Yeah.
week? I feel
Well,
like
I went from number 1 to down at the bottom with you.
yeah, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Join the
thanks for
party.
throwing that out there, you jerk.
Sorry, I didn't mean it
Brandon,
like that.
that's like telling somebody they look tired, okay?
No, oh my God, our friendship
But
is
I
dead.
think that's normal because you see these people are like, oh, they're really popular. I want to be popular, so let's lower them in my rating. So I think that's normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I don't think they touch that too much. I don't think production is heavily involved with I don't think production is involved with the ratings and stuff at all. I really don't. Because even watching every season, like if you look at the numbers, the winners make sense. They really do. Now, the winners make sense. I saw several videos of people playing it out, like how the ratings went and like writing down who rated who where
Oh yeah.
and did the math. And I was like, yeah, it adds up. It adds up. I mean, when it came to me winning, it was like 1 point between me and Kyle. Like
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like right there between me and Kyle. So I don't think production has anything to do with the ratings at all. I do think though, it was in that elimination, since we're here, let's just start it. In that
tell me.
elimination, the twins or Gianna was the second influencer, right? Second place influencer. K Fern was the number 1 influencer, right? And at the end of that, he sends home what is objectively one of his biggest alliance members.
Yes.
And he had so little pushback on the twins who were second. And I'm just like, dude, you gave up before you even started. I would have QT'd. I would have QT'd their ass.
That's what I thought would happen.
And I just think, why not? And I love her. I think she's amazing. I want to make that clear because I don't like when people go home, period. That was the hardest part of the game for me. Jadeja was the best choice to eliminate in that round because with K Fern, it would have pissed off D a little bit because that was like his girl already.
Right.
But he still would have had the guys alliance, which was ultimately the higher number. And he still would have had Savannah, which was a whole other alliance. There's so many numbers for him. With the twins, they had a connection with Jadeja via the girl group, but it wasn't as strong as it was with Rachel. So they could have gotten rid of Jadeja and still stayed. And I felt like with K Fern, that would have been the better compromise and the push instead of saying, sure, you can have Savannah. I think it was a bad move on his end and it's going to come back to bite him in the ass. And I hate that for him. I hate that for him.
I agree because I feel like he lost his alliance, obviously, with Savannah. And who's to say that Savannah wouldn't have started a group chat with the girls and be like, oh, well, he's my crush. And okay, well, we'll protect him. But then, you know, he didn't want to ruin his guys' alliance, which I get as well. But at the same time, Judea and what's his name, Darian just met. So he couldn't have been too mad day one because there's 5 other girls to flirt with now. You know, because that seems to be the going thing is just flirting and getting in a relationship. So I agree. He should have got rid of Judea. It made more sense. And I agree with Brandon. It's going to somehow turn around and bite him in the hind end.
Well, And just to put this out there too, he could have had pushback. I know why he didn't. He didn't because he didn't want to ruffle feathers. But you turn around and you have that group chat the next morning
Oh
where
God, yeah.
you ruffled every
Everyone.
feather.
And they made it seem like everybody was going to come for Deb Rachel.
Mhm.
And then that immediately turned around. She really turned the tides and
Right under
did a
the
great
radar.
job, which I thought for sure that Rachel was going home. Maybe Darian, but I would have put money on Rachel going home because, again, Gianna was in second place in the ratings, and the title of the episode was something like Battle of the Influencers. So they really set you up for like, if we're going to go with the dating theme, a catfishing moment.
So there was my other argument. That was the perfect fight for K Fern to have because
Yes.
he could have thrown it back in Gianna's face and been like, "Listen, Queen, you were voted out. Clearly, people don't like you."
Mhm.
And now you're at number 2. You didn't come back from going home to number 1. You're at number 2. You got there because of some apologies, by the way.
Yeah.
So I would have looked at them and been like, "You're not making this choice, honey. You think you have power. You don't, because you're going to be the next one home." If he wanted to ruffle feathers, I would have done it in that secret chat where no one would have known that he did it. And it could have been like word against word. And because he could have denied and said, "I never said that." But instead, they did it publicly.
Yeah, and he even took the reins in kicking her out, which
bad move. What he should
mean,
have done, because he was number 1, he should have just told Gianna, the twins, okay, whatever. And then the person I'm blocking is ... and then voted whoever he wanted to. That's what I would have done.
why not do that?
That
not
would have
change it?
that would have blown my mind, Cassie. I would have given him like all the props if he just did a boss ass move.
And then get in the group chat the next morning and be like, "I didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. That's who he told me to, blah, blah, blah." You know,
Good.
like,
it
he
seems
messed
like
up.
he just shot himself in the foot, not only with the cast, because now you're showing you have zero loyalty, but with the fans. Because he's already coming in hot with the K-Fern nickname. I mean, it's a hard like bond to make with Kevin. And
I'm gonna be a little biased here because
you can be. We can differ opinions.
I know. I've had conversations with him, and he is a real sweetie. And so I feel like in the show he's going to get a bad rep right out the gate because of what he did to Savannah. But I think also he's just not the personality type to want to have the fight, like to want to do the arguing. I don't see him as like a hardcore, like, let's argue this out kind of thing. And in that group chat where he was blowing it and just saying like the worst things you could have said, I think he was like trying to defend himself. He just wasn't doing it well.
No, and I'll say we have a lot of show villains, not as much from the circle, but from other, from Love is Blind on. And they're the sweetest people, the most genuine people. And it's a show, right? Everybody has to play a role. But as like from a watching perspective, just what we're seeing, it's hard to root for him. What about you, Cassie?
Also at the same time, he just met her. I mean, honestly, what does he owe
I
her
know.
To? You know what I mean?
Like, I agree.
I know. When you look at it as a game, I get it. But you don't have a ton more to go off of with anybody else, it seems, either. And there was, out of the 3, if they had each picked somebody that they were like loyal, ride or die, I'm not sending home. I don't know why he chose Andy for that instead of Savannah, but
I think people right now are seeing K-Fern as like a possible villain moving forward. But I'm not going to lie. I think the twins are the villains of this season because we just started and they're already acting like they run the circle. So I think the real villains have yet to show up. So
And taking it so personally. I mean, they really took that blocking personally.
So personally. And I think like I don't know. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying I think we're gonna get a lot more craziness from that group, which hell, that's good TV. Do it, boo-boo. I'm just saying, remember there are consequences for your choices. Ask Jordan. Ask Jordan about those consequences.
Honestly, the way that I think Kevin and Kayford are two different personalities. So the way that Kevin has ended playing these episodes is definitely Kayford, and is reminding me a little bit. I love Jordan. Jordan is an amazing person. But
absolutely,
how Jordan played the game was hard to root for. Okay, I'm not saying I don't root for him in person.
He knows this.
I told him. He knows.
And I love Jordan, but he knows he was bad as hell in that game. And he owns it. He does own it. People were saying some really awful things to him. But at the end of the day, you know what? Like, I'm glad he took it the way he did instead of, and it wasn't always easy. Like, we've talked about it, but I'm glad that he stuck to his guns and was like, it's a game, which it is. And some of the things people were telling him, you shouldn't be telling that to anyone. I don't care if it's K-Fern. I don't care if it's the twins. Leave them the hell alone. Okay. If you got something nasty to say, come to my page because I'd love to talk to your ass. Yes. But don't attack people. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Fans take it so personally, and I say this almost every episode. This is a show. This is not the person's entire personality, and you have no right to go on other people's pages or slide into their DMs, making death threats and being nasty and telling them what awful people they are. That just, it blows my mind.
Amen.
I will wrap this up. Do you guys have any last thoughts, Cassie, of where the season is going or anything that I forgot to cover?
So far, I am anxious to see who else comes in, and I hope that they're not single, and I hope that they don't try to like flirt their way to the top. I'm agreeing with Brandon. I think it's starting real strong, and I think it will level out. I'm hoping we get to really get to know these people. That's what I'm hoping for with this season.
Yes. Brandon, last thoughts?
I agree. I mean, I think it's starting off hot. It's, for me, it's got me hooked to where I want to see what happens next.
Okay.
I hope it's not complete chaos because I don't know. But I'm living for the drama already because I do that anyway. I just think I also want to see the human side of them. And I think that's what I'm really hoping for, is that we get to know them for who they are and not their gameplay. So that's my hope.
I agree. I want to have more connection than I did these last couple of episodes. I don't have a favorite so far. I have people I'm leaning toward, but if you had to, gun to your head, who's going to win this season? Brandon.
Oh my God, this sucks. Gun to my head, who's going to win the season? I would say, can I say two?
No, I'm kidding. Yes, you can.
Oh my God. Okay.
Of course you can.
I'm going to say either Deb or I think possibly Garrett.
Okay, yeah,
I know it's out of like left field, but I think he has a personality that people are gonna like. Yes. And I think I don't know. I just have this like
the gut feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
Cassie, winner of the season. Who's it going to be from who we've seen so far?
I've got two that I'm tossing right now. I love Garrett. He come in strong. He is so funny. He does have a great personality. He's already connected, with two people now, two alliances. That's good. But I can see how dominant that the twins are. I can see them taking over and running with
Oh
it.
boy.
But then I can also see Heather / Andy, because he is the
Oh.
oldest one right now. He could be that father figure, leading the guys, leading. I don't know, but gun to my head, I'm gonna say Deb.
Okay.
Deb.
I
Deb.
I love that you said the oldest one. Isn't Andy like 30 in the game?
I'm glad you said that because I'm 30, and I think it was Savannah cause she's like 22, and she was like, he's old, he's like 30, and I was like, bitch, are you kidding me right now? I'll come
Oh,
find you.
wait
Girl,
till
I'm
she sees
But
35.
Deb.
in her defense, I remember when I was 22 and
I
I thought
know, I
30
know.
was ancient. So I understand because I get it. I've been there.
I know, I know. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to say Garrett, hands down, I think is going to be the winner of this season. You can hold me to that, pending anybody else coming in and
We're
really taking
we're
over.
we're gonna have to do this again because we're
Yes.
gonna need to see whose predictions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We might have to change up a little bit. So stay tuned. This will be out on the 14th. And we will have the next episode recaps coming next week. Guys, thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining the Love Pod. You know we love you, and I am so appreciative that you were here. And I can see baby girl wants to go to Mima's, so we will let you guys go. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll chat soon.
Yes. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye. Mwah.
Bye.